Welcome, potential Dragon Ball Super Card Game players. This is just it's just an informational video. If you're here, it's because you might want to learn how to play Dragon Ball Super, or might be interested in, joining a new card game. This is just going to give you some resources to use in order to learn more about the game. And as I'm going over some stuff, I'm going to tell you some of the important things you're going to want to know before you get into the game, and a little bit of how to be better at the game right from the get-go. So right now we are on set 14. Game's been out for 3.5 years. There's a whole lot going on. We got ban lists that just aren't hitting where they're supposed to be. We've got new sets coming out with I want to say shortage in supply. I know my store didn't get a whole lot of supply for the starter decks and stuff, and that's actually a great place to start. So if you want to get into the Dragon Ball Super Card Game, a very good pickup to get you started would be starter decks. So I'm going to take us over to TCG Player. TCG Player is a great source for buying and selling and just looking up overall prices when it comes to the Dragon Ball Super Card Game. On our screen here, I have the starter deck 15, Pride of the Saiyans. This starter deck right here is going to highlight the red color of the game. Red is a very aggro color. It provides strong attack power as well as being able to push damage through quickly and effectively. This starter deck comes with quite a few decent red cards. The leader's very good. The unison cards are very good. If you don't know what a unison card is, it's most comparable to Planeswalkers in Magic. They are basically like a second leader that has certain skills that allow you to progress quicker in the game, and other skills will use that unison in order to activate. Set 14 introduced a new mechanic called Spirit Boost that really utilizes the skills of your unison cards. And starter deck 15 here, Pride of the Saiyans, has all of that wrapped into one, as well as a couple good key cards for the red color. We then also have starter deck 16, Darkness Reborn. This is basically a reboot starter deck. Reboot in Dragon Ball Super means that they took a card and reprinted it with the same name, but essentially a better skill than the older version. This is their way of power creeping in the game, and so old stagnant cards still become usable again with new effects. The Darkness Reborn starter deck here is for the color black, and it focuses around doing crit damage and also having a big multicolor, don't know how to describe it. It takes all the different colors in the game and throws them all in one deck and says, here's a way that every color can be viable in some way. So it's not a bad starter deck. It's the newest one along with the last one we just talked about. I would say it's got a pretty decent high skill level for a player to learn the game and get into the game using that deck. Would I recommend it? Not necessarily for a new player. You're much better off going with starter deck 15, Pride of the Saiyans. And retail on these, if you bought them from Walmart or Target, I think it's $12. Because of the supply shortage, they are a little bit higher on TCG Player. You will have to pay taxes and stuff on top of that as well. So overall, if you think $20 is too much to get into a card game, I got news for you. This game is not cheap if you want to be a competitive player. And I guess that's hit and miss. I'll take that back. You can definitely play this game at an affordable level. It's just a matter of if you want to be good at the game or have the ability to be good at the game. So a lot of newer players, they'll want to get into the game with maybe a budget deck, and that'll teach you the skills and the basics, but it's not gonna win you games in a competitive state. So, the way that we can kind of learn more about the card game, because knowledge is a very, very large part of this, we can go over here to the Dragon Ball Super Card Game website. Fantastic site, and right here I have us on the card list tab. So this site will tell you about the game, the different products that are out, all the rules, all the local events, or not local, but just events that are happening overall. And then the card list. The other ones kind of aren't as important. If you want to play the game competitively, head over to the organized play, get a BCC ID number, and that'll allow you to participate in all the different events you want to play in. But so the card list part of the website, I use this all the time. Like I said, there's 14 sets. Imagine like 100 cards per set on top of all the promos and expansion cards and all this other, really important stuff that we'll get to later. It's a lot of knowledge to learn in order to be good at this game and predict different moves that your opponents are going to have. So right here we have the card search tab. Keywords are basically like anything in the card text. The card name would be if you know the actual name of the card. The series, this has all the different sets, starter decks, expansions, all that stuff. So basically just all your criteria to break down what cards you're looking for. So let's say I wanted to look at the new starter deck 15. So it'll load, scroll on down, and just to show you guys a basic card. Alright, so this is our leader card. Every deck has a leader card. The leader card will be a pivotal point of what to build your deck around, or what might coincide with the rest of your deck. So most leaders have a when this card attacks, draw one card. The plus 5,000 power is a little bonus. And this leader has the awesome ability of awakening when you have a unison with a specified cost of 2 in play. This provides you the quick aggro ability to go ahead and push through damage, and awaken early for the defensive capability of not taking as much damage when your opponent has to do other things in order to deal damage to you. That was a mouthful. Hopefully you guys will understand that in the future. But we can also flip the leader over to read what the backside does. And like I said, this is just a great source of knowledge. You can read every card in the starter deck. This is our unison. We have the starter cards, which are only found in the starter decks. And that's all it's going to show us, apparently. If you found the starter deck in person, there is a list of all the cards that come in it. I apologize it's not on here. But basically, you'll be able to use this website as a great source of reading cards, because that is really important. So, like, Draft Box 6, a little difficult to get now, has a vast amount of cards and a lot that we really don't care about. But like this, for example, Son Goku off to defeat Piccolo. I'm not going to be able to sit on it. So this card is like less than $1, but it's a super rare. Okay, super rare that's less than $1. Talking about money. And this card right below it, same character. Card artwork's a little different, but this card's $20 right now. So the vast price difference and not knowing what the cards do. If you were a newer player, which I assume most of you are, you look at these cards and someone goes, yeah, it's a $20 card, and they're talking about this one. Like, they're pointing to this one in the binder, like, hey, $20, this is yours. Make sure you know, and this is all part of knowledge, this will be the card you're looking for, not the other one. There's a lot of artworks that are very similar, and when picking up new cards or looking to buy or trade with somebody, make sure you know what you're looking for. Do a lot of searching ahead of time, and keep an eye out for, obviously, the good deals that can be found, whether that's on Facebook, Discord, or even on TCG Player. People post, really cheap cards because they just want to get rid of them sometimes. So another great source of information is YouTube. Watching my videos, which hopefully I'm posting more in the future. Watching other people's videos, I have for reference up here Crossworld TCG. Right now he's got 8,000 subscribers, almost 1,000 videos. The dude puts out a lot of really good content, and I recommend watching him. You don't have to join his Patreon. A lot of his good source material is free. He does a lot of videos on like top cuts, what's doing well in tournaments. Do cards have potential in the future? Deck profiles for other people. He's got a lot of material that's really good. Another person I'm going to recommend, because it's a friend of mine, is this guy. Maybe. Nope, not these guys. Wow. I will find him. Don't you worry. There we go. Right there. This guy, Kyle Chris YouTube, just hit 1,000 subscribers. 296 videos. He's putting out gameplay video. He's putting out deck profiles. He mainly focuses on the yellow color. So if you're interested in playing yellow, it's a control aspect to the game. There are aggro variants to it, but it's mainly just I'm going to prevent my opponent from doing what they want to do, and then I'll play the game how I want to play. Another awesome YouTube people, Tech on Production. Let's see if they come up. So these guys, they do a lot of gameplay footage while they're talking over the actual gameplay. So they'll tell you like different moves that they thought about doing during the game. They'll talk about reasons why they include certain cards and reasons why things are good in other matchups. Very competitive style of YouTube videos, and they look at a lot of different things. I watch these guys pretty often as well. Just because I watch people, I'm always trying to gain knowledge, and I always recommend you guys gain knowledge as well. If you are going to enter a tournament, or if you just want to play around with different deck ideas, Shenron's Lair is not great. It's got bugs all the time, but like every place has bugs now. It's a great place to deck build. So they have a list of all the different cards, just like the Dragon Ball website does. They have a place where you can build your own decks and also save them. You also have the opportunity to, if it'll load here, click and look at other people's decks that they've created so that you can build ideas or kind of see what you're leaning towards when you're creating your own deck. So I'm just going to look at this guy, Dr. Lychee Extreme Budget. All right. So showing off the website, he's got a very budget build. Has very few SRs, and as you can see, there's TCG player pricing for the cards. Sometimes it's up to date, sometimes it's not, but as you can see, this deck on budget, $10 whole. That doesn't mean it's good. It means it's a budget build, and if you feel like you want to play a Hatchiyak deck, well, there you go, $10. So let's just look at this King Vegeta Vegas 2021, whatever this is. So the deck is King Vegeta, and right away, there's a lot of stuff going on. You've got Violent Rays, which is a super rare. You've got a secret rare over here in the corner, $125. So if the price is going to deter you from playing certain cards, just don't play them. There are budget alternatives, but your deck obviously won't be as strong as it could be. So this Vegeta right here is a promo. These are super combos. Super combos are very important. And the reason that the prices are so high on these, like this card's an uncommon. The reason the price is so high is because this set is no longer in print. This card, you can't get it from a booster pack. So something that's still viable or extremely viable in like almost every red deck, you can't get it anymore just from opening packs. Now you could, I guess, go potentially find packs of that set, but you're not going to get that card. And I'm sorry, it's a rare. I said it's uncommon. So this guy right here is from DraftBox 6. We looked at a few cards from DraftBox 6. This card, until this year, like the last couple months, was not $62. It was like a $25 card, which is still pretty high, but now it's a $62 card, and this guy's playing 3 of them. You look at the price of this deck right here, and it kind of blows you away. You're like, what? I'm not spending that much on a deck like that. And maybe you do want to play a deck like this. There are budget alternatives, but like I said, your deck's not going to be as good. I'm sure this guy labeled this Vegas 2021 because he was playing it in a tournament, potentially in Vegas, and hopefully he did well. So if you build these decks, you obviously might not own the cards for them, but it's a way to look at what you want to build and see if things kind of look good on paper, as people would say. A way that you can test out the decks you want to play is on Untap. Untap is a free-to-play source that has Dragon Ball Super, and there are people playing on this all the time. You can take all the decks that you create in Shenron's Lair, you can transport them over to Untap, and play for free without actually owning any cards. It's a phenomenal resource, and I would highly recommend it if you aren't able to, obtain the cards first, or would like to play a few games with them before actually making the purchase off of TCG Player or off of a friend or making a trade. So that's really all we got going on. Dragon Ball is a really awesome game. If you want more information on it, I suggest, going and watching tutorial videos. Not necessarily like the tutorial videos. We can go over here. You go on the About page. It's going to show you, everything about the game, about different locations. It's a competitive game, so like they want people to get invested in it and get excited for new games. So this is one of the tutorial videos they had on YouTube. This is still on their main page. Like these are probably from set 1 and set 2 or set 5. But like these are so old, they're kind of not relevant. They teach you the basics of how to play the game, but they don't really address all the different steps to it. There's not many videos out there that actually like teach you a tutorial step by step, and the reason for that, I believe, is because they take forever to make. It takes so much effort to go in and learn how to play the game, and realistically it's better to just find someone who knows what they're doing, sit down with them, and just ask them to explain it, walk you through it. Your first game that you ever play is probably going to take like 2 hours, but you're going to learn so much more from that than watching a video like this. I do plan on making a deck tutorial video, like deck building 101 in the future, but overall there's just not much to teach about the game. It's more of a you need to be in the situations to learn about the situations. You have to experience all the card knowledge for yourself. You have to go and look up what cards you want, what you're trying to do with the game. And maybe this wasn't the video for you, and I apologize. I'm just trying to get more people into the game. If you're interested even a little bit, hopefully this video got you more interested. There's a lot of super exciting characters that, maybe fan favorites that you might like. A lot of really good decks that aren't very expensive. So I hope that you guys all attempt to play this game. Even if you buy a $20 budget starter deck, just give it a shot. What can it hurt you? $20 is nothing compared to other card games. So hopefully this video was enough for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.